An epic, sweeping aerial shot captures a timeless, ancient river carving its way through a lush, The perspective shifts dramatically to just above the water's surface, where a small, almost...
The camera follows the object as it sinks beneath the surface into the quiet underwater world.
The lure's descent is halted by the unseen line connecting it to the world above. It settles into the The camera pulls back to a wider shot, revealing the lure as a small, shining speck within the vast underwater. The scene opens on the tranquil beauty of the riverbed, a world moving with a slow, graceful rhythm.
A sleek, iridescent form glides effortlessly into one of the golden sunbeams, revealing a magnificent
distance. The rainbow trout suddenly halts its fluid movement, its fins twitching slightly as it holds its position perfectly against.
Cutting back to an objective, external shot of the trout, we see a flicker of doubt. Despite the
Overcoming its initial hesitation with a surge of curiosity, the trout begins to move. It doesn't charge forward.
Mesmerized by the glittering spectacle, the trout feels an undeniable pull toward the lure.
Ultimately, caution wins the internal battle. The rainbow trout makes a deliberate decision.
The blunt-nosed minnows, braver and more foolish than the trout, begin to actively chase the lure as it sways and dances.
The camera cuts back to the rainbow trout, still watching the scene from its safe distance. It observes the minnow. A new, imposing shape enters the frame, casting a sudden, large shadow over the entire scene. The camera reveals the newcomer in full, a large river bass. It is thick-bodied and powerful, its dark skin.
The river bass approaches the swirling minnows and the lure with the slow, deliberate confidence of a king entering his cause.
With a single, powerful, and almost lazy flick of its broad tail, the smallmouth river bass disperses the entire school.
An extreme close-up focuses on the river bass's eye. It is dark, ancient, and
The largemouth bass is not here to investigate or play. It is here to make a decision. A simple
The bass responds decisively to the lure's display. It begins to circle, its movements slow and deliberate.
The tense standoff is broken by an external force. A subtle shift in the river's current, perhaps caused by
From a dense cluster of swaying reeds, a new pair of spectators emerges. Two golden
The camera tilts up to reveal the source of the shadow, a massive pike. It is the river's most feared.
The pike begins to move, and its motion is utterly, unnervingly silent. It doesn't swim so much as
A wide shot shows the dramatic reaction on the riverbed below. Every single fish, the
distant. The pike slows its ghostly glide as it finally sees the lure. The shimmering twiddle. The pike executes a perfect stalking maneuver, demonstrating its mastery of the hunt. It shifts its position, slowly. The smaller fish, seeing the pike begin its deadly stalk, finally break their frozen terror and flee for their. Only 2 fish remain in the open: the cautious rainbow trout and the powerful river bass. They have not fled.
The pike begins to circle the lure, but its circle is different from the others. It is a killer's precise, calculated assessment of a target.
The pike stops its circle. It is now perfectly positioned for a strike.
Just as the pike is about to unleash its devastating strike, the river itself intervenes with overwhelming force. The tremor is immediately followed by a sudden, violent surge of current. This is not the river's gentle, predictable.
The immense force of the current has a dramatic and tangible effect on the riverbed itself. Small pebbled stones.
The lure, caught in the violent current, is jerked brutally up and then thrown about, swaying wildly.
The fish react to the dual danger of the current and the lure's violent movements with pure, overriding instinct. They flee.
The mighty river bass also retreats, but its movement is starkly different from the pike's explosive flight. It moves with a controlled, powerful grace.
As the powerful current begins to subside, one fish is revealed to have remained nearby.
The river finally calms completely. The silt settles to the bottom. The current returns to its gentle.
Next, the golden perch reappear. They swim out from the reeds, not as a curious, playful pair, but as a tight, coordinated unit. The atmosphere in the underwater world has fundamentally changed. With the lure hanging completely motionless,
The rainbow trout, emboldened by the new, safer atmosphere.
it is so close that it can feel the faint, almost imperceptible vibrations coming from the thin
families. This is the moment of decision. The trout, driven by its intense curiosity and the new sensory input from
The trout backs away slightly, its moment of boldness having passed. It knows now, with a deep.
The newly visible line twitches. The movement is tiny, but it translates into a sharp, sudden jerk of the lure below.
But the mighty river bass, steady and fearless, has the opposite reaction. The lure's desperate
With an explosive burst of raw power, the bass lunges. Its body shoots forward, a dark green torpedo propelled by a massive flick of its tail.
The charging bass, its attack unexpectedly blocked by the trout, is forced to swerve violently to avoid a collision.
The Titan line now pulls decisively. The lure jerks violently, not with the gentle twitches of before, but with a powerful upward pull.
Instead of fleeing from the obvious danger,
the rainbow trout does something extraordinary and inexplicable. It follows the lure.
As they near the surface, the trout's fascination reaches its absolute peak. It is completely mesmerized.
In the final moment, the trout gives in completely. Then, in a sudden final twist, there is a violent swirl of water. The lure, reaching the end of its line, is back underwater. The rainbow trout hovers alone in the rising level's departure.
Finally, the trout accepts that the mystery is gone for good. Slowly, gracefully, it turns.